Sorry, I was just going to say we do have a couple callers. Want to
Go for it.
jump in? All right, let's get our first caller. We have got John from Oklahoma. You're on with Ethan and Jenna. How's it going?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Going mid to fair.
Mid to fair. Oh, okay.
Say thank you to Kaitlyn for getting me in here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn.
She's pretty awesome.
Yes, she is.
Agreed. There's Kaitlyn.
What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I don't exercise much. I can't. Excuse me. I got COVID back in August, and I have not recovered. I tried. Okay, so I mowed the yard 2 weeks ago because that's what we have to do here in Oklahoma. But I have a self-propelled push mower, and within less than 20 minutes of me pushing the mower around, I collapsed out of exhaustion in the middle of the yard.
Oh.
So, I try to put in a walk every day, even if it's just around the house, and I try to get outside. I've set up this like what I call my old man porch. I'm 37.
Okay.
But
old man.
So I try to get outside and soak up, sunshine and, breathe fresh air and cuss at the neighborhood cats because they keep peeing all over my charcoal grill.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy being outside. It's just hard for me to do that. And if I'm walking around inside, I feel like a crazy person just in a manic state. So
right. Well, we need fresh air. Have you heard of electronic bikes?
Electronic bikes? Yes. Unfortunately, in our house, we have a 3-bedroom house with 5 people living here. So there's not a whole lot of room.
Not a stationary bike, an electronic bike. It's essentially it's kind of the same concept as your self-propelled push mower, but for a bike.
That would be I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, my father-in-law had lung cancer, and he's actually one of the people who got me into exercising. And he went and got himself an electric bike while he was going through chemo before he passed. And it was amazing. He used it. It was incredible. I can't my father-in-law's is biking with lung cancer. So maybe that's something worth checking out if you have the financial means for it. I don't know how expensive it was.
Yeah, that's also a problem because unfortunately, to add on to the mental recovery I'm going through, I have been diagnosed with PTSD from COVID.
Oh my God.
And since I'm sure it's a collaboration of things, not just COVID. I had a bad habit of bottling things up until the past year, up until my mental state started like declining heavily. I've always been this very unemotional, masculine man, and a lot of those walls have been knocked down in the past year.
Good for you. I'm sorry. Is that good for you? Do you feel better for that?
I feel less stressed, but at the same time, it's stressful all on its own because I'm not used to these emotions.
Okay. Yes, that's fair.
My wife's a very sensitive person and always has been. And I have tried my hardest to be understanding and let her have her moments and, just see what she needed me to do. And I've never doxed her for it. I just didn't get it, but I understood that she was having those feelings. I didn't understand what those feelings were.
Right.
And now it's all dumping on me at the same time. So she's been a pretty good help with, ways to kind of get through. And she's like, you need to get your but outside. Basically, it's what she told me.
Yeah.
So that's when I started my porch and started making sure I try to walk around. But like for a week here, for the past like 4 days, we've had rain. So couldn't exactly go walk around and outside and all that. So, and we live in rural America as well. So,
there is something I just learned today. Is exercise also helps with PTSD and trauma. I would like to read a quick excerpt. Evidence suggests that by really focusing on your body and how it feels as you exercise, you can actually help your nervous system become unstuck and begin to move out of immobilization stress responses that characterize PTSD or trauma. Now, yeah, I mean, it's so hard to figure out the best way to go with this, but yeah, I mean, if I don't know if you can do like curls or anything else, or if like everything, I don't know, like could you even do curls? Like,
Well, even if it's just yoga,
yeah,
yoga is
yoga would be
mostly just stretching and breathing and kind of using your own body weight to kind of work some muscles. But to me, that or the electric bike might be things to look into. Have you looked into the yoga or anything like that yet?
I haven't. I'm not the most flexible person. I don't know.
You do not need to be flexible to do yoga. You do not need flexibility at all. That's something that you can gain from yoga. But they have more like masculine, they have more like masculine yoga practices now. I know that yoga has been introduced to many, including my partner. My partner is about to be 37. And so he actually, it's kind of funny. Your situation somewhat reminds me of him in the sense that he's struggling with kind of learning about his own mental health right now. And at the same time, he has a very, very sensitive partner. And the thing is, he's resistant to yoga because he's like, well, I've tried it before. I'm like, well, but the thing is that when you try yoga or when you try vegan cheese, when you try these things that are somewhat new, and then you try them again a decade later, they're different. We've learned different things. And there are many, many, if you look up yoga for football players, or, just yoga for men or whatever, I'm sure that you can find something that might be a little bit more intriguing to you. I'm not sure. I'm hopeful.
Well, I because I know I need to find something, and I don't know. I haven't found that one thing that I enjoy, but listening to you guys while I was in Q was helpful as well, because I didn't even think, because I was a basketball player, football player, weightlifter, and I did these things well into my 20s, and now I'm just unable to do any of it. But listening to you guys talk about, even if it is starting at one sit-up or one push-up, if I can do, just something, and you guys are right, just something. Absolutely, you guys were nail on the head on the nail. What?
no,
yeah.
Yeah. Hit the nail on the head. There you go.
Well, good.
So I think that'll try.
So what are you going to do now?
Some suggestions to try, and we'll.
Do you mind if I ask where you're headed?
Do what?
Do you mind if I ask where you're headed? Like, what is it that we've said that you're like, I'm going to go that direction?
Well, just starting at the bottom, like you said, like the one, just find the one thing that, just try a bunch of things one time to see if something sticks, and start it small, start it easy. And I'm trying to adjust to the new me, the new brain that is forming, and change is something that I have a hard time
with
coping with change, I guess, because I can change. I know I can. I have before. I'm not, I'm not worried about any of that. It's I don't know.
No, I understand.
I get that. Well,
I think we've actually done 2 episodes on change now for that reason. It's so hard and it's so complicated. If you want to go check those out, maybe those can help you. Hopefully we can find somebody who can put like a link to those in the chat or something. But can I just say, I am so happy for you, because the way that it looks to me is that you are in a position where you have been exposed to things that have given you the ambition to grow.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And that to me is like, that's like my favorite place to be, because you are on go. You have so many different things ahead of you that you are completely unaware of, and you get to pick them as you go. You get to say, I like this way, I'm going to go there. And, I'm so excited for you. I understand that it's very, very difficult and very uncomfortable, but just coming from somebody who also has PTSD and started working out regularly, I genuinely think that it will change your life, and that if you call us back in a year, you will. I'm not going to predict who you're going to be a year from now, but I would think that you would feel better than you do right now. And that's, I could base that off of like a million different sources.
Well, that's what the hope is. And, my dad always told me a good saying was something to the effect of, never get complacent, always try to go up from where you're at, always.
Exactly. Because if you're not growing, you're dying.
And I've got completely complacent, and in the most figurative and literal, it seems like my brain's trying to die on me and my body tried to give up on me, and we battle through it. So now it's time to start working upward again.
Well, if you think about it, COVID set you back. COVID took a lot from you that you had built up. And so, it's like you were here, you went here, and now you're trying to get here. So you're just, again, it's kind of like what you said, like you have to start back. You're gonna have to start a little bit less than what you used to be able to do.
Because even before COVID, I had my job, and my job kept me a little on the physical side, because I worked security for a casino for 15 years.
Okay.
March 5th would have been 15 years. I got fired March 1st. So, or let go. I got fired because I couldn't come back, is what happened. It wasn't a bad thing. It was,
right.
They couldn't hold on to my position. So I hold them at no fault. That's business. That's the way of life.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me.
Do what?
Same thing happened to me. Got let go just because they just couldn't hold me anymore because of COVID.
Right. Yeah. I expended all types of leave and short term and all that stuff. So I'm still trying to work on that. Still trying to find, maybe a home based, because I have a very low threshold for my public anxiety. Now that I've lost my job, I'm Native American, so I had to go get free health care, and sitting in the same hospital where I almost died, 6-8 months ago, was pretty surreal. It was a very high stress.
So I'm going to make one more recommendation, if that's welcome to you.
Absolutely. I'm welcome.
I can understand how you have this momentum going and you have this job going and you're doing well, and then something changes it and you don't have this job now for almost a year, and I've never had a job, not had a job for almost a year. It's very, very different from the habits that I built over my entire life, not even just my adult life, but my entire life. I can completely understand that. I'm curious, have you looked into disability? Because that is a thing. If you can't work right now, I mean, disability doesn't have to be forever. If you can't work, you can, and you've been diagnosed with PTSD. I am not sure how that process goes, but I do know people who are on disability, and I do know that it's possible, especially if you can't.
I'm working on that part of it. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I've been working on that. The deal is, so my mental health, my psychiatrist, there's a lot of tangents on this, and just in the past few months.
Sure.
But my therapist really dropped the ball on my medication. He was okay apparently with me going without it for 2 months. My disability company was trying to call him, checked in with him every Thursday. They sent me the records where they had tried, and for some reason they were refusing to send in my medical records. So on top of that, my physician that I was seeing, the last contact I had with him directly, we were in one of his exam rooms, and he still thinks Trump should be president. So I couldn't continue with either one of these doctors. So now I'm having to be reestablished somewhere else. And so it's been just a huge, mound of garbage.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
But
so have you reached out to several things? There's the Secular Therapy Project, can help with, can help with any kind of therapy that you need that's not based off of religion. So I'm not trying to bring up atheist stuff. This isn't about atheism or theism or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that there are therapists available that will not tell you to just pray about it. And you can find some of those on the Secular Therapy Project. These therapists have been screened to make sure that they're not influeing people to do or to believe certain things that go against their own values.
Is that what is it? Is it like a nonprofit or?
It is.
Okay, excellent. I knew freedom from religion was, but I didn't know.
Well, freedom from religion is mostly for legal help.
Okay, and no, the secular therapy.
Oh, you're thinking recovering from religion?
No, there's freedom from religion too.
Well, there's freedom from religion, which is for legal help if you need to report somebody. And then there's recovering from religion, where it's like a hotline where you can get help or resources just for your own personal benefit. Here we go. Here's some links.
And the reason I'm bringing up that stuff, because I am in the atheist community, and I have a very big issue with that coming up in my, when these people are supposed to be, when these, I don't mean to say these people, like I'm saying in the professional world are supposed to be using science, and they're believing in wacky conspiracy theories. I can't trust them as my healthcare physician to make the right decisions for me.
Exactly.
They can't make the right decisions for themselves. Like,
well,
I couldn't. Go ahead,
sorry. I know I'll definitely say, atheist definitely doesn't mean rational. That's for sure.
And it may take a few psychiatrists or therapists or both before you find the right match for you. I know that I didn't find a therapist that I felt really close to until my third one either. And Yeah. So that's just if you're looking for some secular support, not on the atheism side, but just the secular side. If you're looking for that, I recommend that, because just because we are getting too close to offering you mental health advice, and that is not what we're trying to do right now.
But
we're just in a discussion, and I
Right.
appreciate the help and directions that you guys go. I'm gonna go a little fanboy for a second. I think this show is one of the most important shows on YouTube.
Thank you.
Just because of what it touches, and I watch a lot of YouTube now that I'm jobless.
Right.
But I 100% appreciate everything you guys do, and I don't want to take up any more time. If you guys, if you guys are starting to feel uncomfortable with where you're headed.
Oh no, we have another caller, and we would like to try to keep the topic to mental health and exercise specifically. But hopefully we've helped you a little bit. I mean, how do you feel leaving this call?
Well, I'm gonna start trying at least one thing a day. If it's not, just something different, and if something catches, I'll continue to do that. But until then, I'm just going to start trying to find something that I really enjoy. And I'd like to just do it outside, because I love to be outside, and it,
right.
outside makes me smile. So
same.
I'm so excited for you.
Great, John. Thank you, for not only watching our content, but giving us a call and sharing your story and letting us talk with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
You guys have a good...
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
There's a delay, so that happens sometimes. You have a good day too.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good show.